Hello and welcome to the start of this week's moving reading vlog. I don't know. I'm using my phone. I never use my phone. I don't plan on using my phone in the future, so if you hate this quality, don't worry. It's not a thing that's staying. But my world's a mess, and I will show you in a minute. But I have reading thoughts. I've been reading House in the Cerulean Sea. Oh, it's so good, so wholesome, so great. I'm only 100-ish pages in. You have this character, Linus. He is very by the book, you know, that friend who's a stickler for the rules. He has a very boring job. It kind of gives me like the vibes of, you know, in The Incredibles, like how it's a desk job like what Mr. Incredible has at the beginning. It's kind of like that, but he is also a caseworker who looks at orphanages for children with magical abilities. So it's really cool. So like imagine we're in a part of the world where, like, you know, in X-Men episodes, people sometimes need to be registered, and that's like a whole part of the plot. Well, this is a world where magical beings are registered, and there are orphanages for magical kids. And he's a caseworker for that. And he gets set on this super secret classified mission, and yeah, it's about what he finds there, I guess. And I hear there's romance, I hear it's wholesome, I am liking it, it's what my brain needs when I'm not dealing with this. It's just so much right now. We just spent like 2 hours taking apart the couch I'm normally sitting on right here. It's insane. My world is a mess. I'm also listening to an absolutely terrible beauty. It's the second book by Hank Green after I can't remember the names. There's gonna over here. It's gonna be an image right there. But it is great. It has multiple point of views, which I knew going into it, and yeah, basically both of these are because of Adri from Perpetual Pages, and I have no regrets. I should just basically let them make my TBR all the time, which, like, they've been raving about Cemetery Boys since like forever, so I need to get that. But let me show you the mess my life is right now. So yeah, I just got all the boxes, all the pillows. I don't know how to pack pillows. That's where my games used to be. My friend's moving in and wanted the shelves, so they're gonna paint, so I wanted to protect them from the paint because they're not good at painting here. My TV's still set up because I am living by watching like Marvel and stuff. Well, those flashing lights over there, those are the construction workers working on the T, and they took down our permits today because they were dumb. So yeah, my life's a mess. I have no more books up. I normally have a bookshelf right over there. This bookshelf right in front that's folded up, that's the one that's you always see in my videos. So yeah, my world's a mess. This is where the couch normally is. That's where the Marvel picture normally is. That's where the Doctor Who one was. The world is different. So I don't know how much I'll be vlogging this moving experience. I don't move often, and I hate it. So we will see. The cats are in for a trip tomorrow, but I'll talk to you guys in a bit. All right, let's see if the street will stay quiet enough for you guys to hear me. I am currently in the truck. We're moving. It's great. I mean, the truck was able to be parked, which I don't know if I said this in the last clip, but the MBTA took down our permit signs, so we didn't really know what would happen this morning, but it's fine. Everything's good. I'm not quite sore yet, although I'm going to be getting there. In traffic. I'm on a very busy street in Boston. It's called Commonwealth, if you're familiar. But I have been listening to this morning, thank you, garbage truck, A Beautifully Foolish Endeavor, and I really, really like it. It's like the perfect, all-consuming audiobook. It reminds me a lot of like the Serial podcast, where it's like I kept listening to episodes because I kept having this mystery I wanted to fill in the cracks of, and I feel like that's kind of the format this audiobook has taken, where we're constantly told mysteries are happening and we need to figure it out. Also, the boys are coming, so I have to help them. Hey guys, I have made it to the hotel. Oh, today was long, but I made it. It's gonna be okay. It's a little modern for me, but it's clean. There are beds. There's a shower. We're watching the Bruins game for hockey, and we're not gonna win this series, I don't think. Tampa Bay just scored. That wasn't very good. Surprisingly, I've listened to like almost half of A Beautifully Foolish Endeavor. I really like how bingeable it is. Like, the mystery just keeps me wanting more. I like just how much it keeps my attention and curiosity, and it's really what I need right now. It was perfect for when I was driving to get the rental truck, when I was doing some last minute cleanup stuff. It was really good for those in-between moments, and it just like, it was good. I'm liking all the voice acting, and it's great. And now Ryan's back, so I'm leaving now. So after those first 2 clips, I died. Yeah, we, moving out took like 10 to 11 hours, moving in took like 5, and it's a couple days later, and we're finally kind of settled in. I'm in an area where I'll be my desk. Over here, if I move the cameras, this is half of my board game collection. I was very happy these shelves were already installed because, as you saw in the first clip, I used to have shelves in addition to a case I have over here, and I was like, oh darn, I'm gonna need to buy additional storage. I mean, not a big deal, but it's just like, yes, Pootow, I know. He's he's on the couch and I'm talking. So, yay, and the lighting in this spot's not horrendous, so who knows, this might be my new vlogging position, we'll see, but I wanted to wrap this up. Who knows how long this vlog even is, but I have finished House in the Cerulean Sea. This was exactly what I needed during this whole process. I think I already told you guys the premise of it, but you basically have this, it's called an orphanage, but I think of it more as like a foster home for magical youth, and they are taken care of by this man, and this caseworker Linus comes, and as I said in previous clip, Linus is just like a by-the-book, down on his luck man who has a very drab existence, and then comes to this island to live there for a month to keep track of this island orphanage because it's of a big importance. And yeah, it's just about how it basically, they all melt his heart. Also, if you're hearing something, Delilah's decided to eat. The cats are currently in this spare room because we're close to letting them have free reign, but not quite yet. We're still working on it. So yeah, I finished this, and there was a live show about it today. So if you want more thoughts, I wasn't quite ready to participate in a live show, but if you want to see that, I will link that down below. I am like chatting in the description, but if you like Frederick Bachman's contemporary, like this felt like a contemporary book that's fantasy. It's very interesting. Like it felt like when I pick up, oh, Ryan might be coming in, I don't know, but like when I pick up a contemporary book where I want to have a feel-good thing, like Man Called Uwe, or My Grandmother Asked Me to Tell You She's Sorry, it definitely hit those narrative beats for me, but with a fantasy setting and characters, and it just integrating a fantasy perspective. Like, what if we lived in a world where there are magical creatures, and because we're humans and dumb, we're scared of them all, so we have to register them and control them, and what does that mean for kids? And what does that mean with prejudice? You know, like exploring the idea of prejudice, which is not new, but through something far enough removed from us that we can like maybe think about it. Like, this doesn't feel that different from what we do with like immigrant kids at the borders. You know, we separate them from their families and put them into, you know, cages, and then maybe they get put in a system somewhere. Like, we do things like what's in this book all the time, but because this book adds magic, it's far enough away that maybe we can think about it more in a more wholesome way. Also, sorry if you're hearing a lot. I have a new alley that echoes a shit ton, but I'm not closing this window, so yeah. I'm still listening to A Beautifully Foolish Endeavor. I should finish that in a couple days. Again, a great audiobook. I think this one's definitely has more sci-fi to it than the previous one, and definitely more economic messaging. And it's heavier in some ways, because in the first book you have April May discovering these Carls and how she gets swept up in this social media viral sphere, and so it's more about April May and her relationship to social media. And in this one, it's more about the world kind of spiraling out of control, which must have been happening in the first book, but because April May was so self-centered, we didn't really get that. And it's about that happening, and it's about how it's being accelerated. And so there's actually kind of this whole save the world feeling. It's less of a mystery like the first book. So, and I'm liking all of the character perspectives. I'm liking all of these sci-fi near futuristic elements. It's a great read. And while I was on the truck, when I had to be truck babysitting, I started Words of Radiance for my reread because it was just, I have the Kindle on my phone. I guess I have a lot of my Kindle books on my phone, but because I am someone who gets from the library and I never read them before they are due, I can't keep them on my phone because my phone's always connected to the Wi-Fi, and but I bought Words of Radiance when it was like $2 a couple years ago because I knew it was a book I'd reread often and maybe not want to reread the physical one. So I started rereading that. It's been a slow reread. I've only read like the first 2 chapters, but the first chapter is Jasna, or is it Yasna? I don't know. It's spelled Jasna. But Yasna is so, I just love her so much. And I think, and then this is Shallan's book, or Shallan. I don't know, whatever you call her. I'm not good at pronouncing fantasy names. And it's one of those things where if you've ever heard Sanderson talk, he's like, I don't know how to pronounce them. However you pronounce them is correct. Like, I literally heard him say that here in Boston, so I'm like, whatever. But Shallan's is the main center of this book, and I really like her as a character. I always say Shallan is a more relatable character to me. Like, I mean, I read these books when I was Shallan's age. Like, I think, well, age is weird because this planet has years, but they're slightly longer years, so I don't know the exact math. But I was late teens, early 20s, which is what Shallan approximately is. And so I really related to her, and so I always feel a little uncomfortable when everyone finds her cringy, because I find her relatable, and it's like, oh, I guess I'm cringy, but oh well, it is what it is. And so, yeah, I'm excited for this book for her. She stresses me out in the 3rd book. Granted, everyone stresses me out in the 3rd book. And I'm also picking up The Stories of Your Life and Others, because I figure reading a story or 2 of this a day plus reading Words of Radiance is kind of where I want to be right now as I'm getting back into routine. Having a comfy reread and then like not large things is where I'm at. Yeah, there's a lot of new noises we're going to have to get used to together for these vlogs because the bathroom's right over there and I'm hearing the water, and who knows if you're hearing it right now. Editing me will figure that out. So yeah, this might be a shorter vlog, but I might eventually, when things are put together, give you a mini tour of the place. I'm very excited about my bookshelves. So you've already seen them because the wrap-up is going on Monday, and this is going on Wednesday. I really like how my bookshelves are set up. I'm still playing around with the lighting. It's kind of like I almost have too good of lighting in there because the white balance will go all crazy with my webcam for some reason. So I gotta figure that out. But I'm very excited about that setup. I'm now a booktuber who sits on my floor when I record with my shelves, which is fine. I feel like that's it's just what you gotta do if you want your bookshelves that maybe aren't that tall to be all behind you. What else do I got? Okay, so this week's videos. What do we got coming up? So on Friday, I am posting my sci-fi recommendations of books that I read before BookTube, because I have a bunch of science fiction books I've read in the past 4 to 5 years that I read before BookTube that I never talk about because, I mean, some of them I do, but they're in the past. So I'm doing a video on that, and then I think this weekend I'll have a review up for Midnight Robber by Nayla Hopkinson, and Monday's video, I don't know what it's going to be. It's either, I haven't filmed it yet, which is why I don't know, but it's either a Science Behind the Magic, or it's going to be my standalone fantasy book recommendations. So yeah, otherwise, if you made it this far, thank you. I'm sorry for everyone if I'm not as in your comment sections as much. I just haven't had the time or the energy to watch BookTube as much as I usually do, but I'm getting back into the groove of things. And yeah, and also thank you everyone for your kind words on my Friday video. If you don't know, I posted musicals with books video and I sang, and I was very nervous about it. And I've only gotten really positive comments and responses, so thank you for being a lovely community. So yeah, otherwise I am gonna end this vlog, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.